So here, my teammate, what she did, she taught me this method that she would actually segregate all the articles into different sections. Maybe some articles dealt with the role of women and children, some articles dealt with historiography, some article dealt with maybe how the government was acting. And then she would write down some points. I would do the same. Okay, this article had these important points that we need to keep in mind. And that's how we started making the notes. And that's the second process, right? After the research question and you have an abstract at your hand, you need to start making notes on based on your understanding. So in this process, you need to start looking into the resources that you collected earlier more critically, in the sense you need to start questioning them as to what is this resource, like what is this resource about, when was this resource, or when was this article, or when was this book written, who wrote this article, the background of the author, if you can find out, because a lot of times their personal politics also come into play the way a research paper or any article is being written. So you need to keep these things in mind while you're researching. Like academic research paper, no matter how small a question is, you need to go into the details because every aspect really matters, right? Then you need to tell us why is this, like you need to question yourself, like why is this article or is this research paper relevant to what I am going, like delving into or studying right now. Is it going to help me, and is it going to help my research, and why is it that important? These questions, and even if it is important, after this, what are there any questions that this article or this research paper or this video that I watched did not answer? Keep everything, like try to note down everything. If you want to record yourself, do that. I would actually just write down a few points, not on my laptop, but actually I need a pen and paper to get my mind working. So do that. You need to start looking into articles more critically, question those articles if there are anything that if there is anything that is missing. So that's how you start your note making process. The note making process becomes extremely important because this is going to be your basic of what you're going to write later after this stage. And while you are making notes, make sure that you consult your mentors. In a research paper writing, it is extremely important that you have discussions, be it with your peer colleagues or your friends or the professor who's helping you or anyone, as a matter of fact. You need to start discussing because you might have limited knowledge on certain things, but then when you discuss it with someone else, they also give a kind of perspective. So, for example, in my case, I during the POSCO paper, my teammate, she was very good with the basics and she was good with typing out everything into one place and stuff like that. But then she had an issue with actually analyzing all the resources that we gathered. So we would discuss, and I was someone who would love to discuss things out and analyze those things. Actually, if I read something monotonously, I am not able to analyze. I actually want someone to speak so that I can have a conversation. And that is how our final draft of the paper was done. So in our first draft we just wrote, but then we saw that it did not make sense, and that is perfectly okay. Even now, sometimes my personal statements don't make sense. Sometimes my like even in college, some assignments, they don't make sense, and it is going to happen. You need to make sure that sometimes you don't make sense so that someone comes and helps you out. So in those instances, if you have your notes in place, you know where to go back to, and also have your literature in your place.